When you first discover that you've been cheated on by your partner, one of the first questions I'm sure that you had is, who are they? Who is the affair partner? Because we have this driving need to know who this other person is. And the answer to that question, who are they? Well, there's a lot in that answer that's going to drive how you react to and heal from this infidelity. In the best case scenario, in my belief, the affair partner is a stranger. This is a person that you do not know. It's a person that you don't have any emotional ties or connections to. And so your chances of running into this person are greatly lessened. And if you and your partner are trying to make things work, well, it's a whole lot easier to eliminate a stranger from your lives than it is somebody that you know. When it's a stranger, you can think of them more as an idea, more of an image than an actual, real, living, breathing person. And there's comfort to be had in that. Harder than a stranger is when it's an acquaintance, when it's somebody that you and your partner knew before this affair. Perhaps your circles overlap, and so this is somebody that you may run into, which of course is never an easy situation. Maybe you have friends in common, friends that perhaps even knew about the betrayal. And so it becomes so much more complicated, so much more nuanced when this is a known person. And depending upon the relationship that that person has to you or your partner, it may be rather difficult to completely excise them from your lives. Sometimes the affair partner is a coworker of your spouse. And that's a particularly difficult one if you and your partner are trying to make it work. Because then all of a sudden, you have those doubts that pop into your head every time they leave the house in the morning to go to work. Because it's no longer just work, is it? It's a place where this betrayal happened. And so now you question every interaction that they have. Is this truly needed for work, or is this signs that the affair is beginning again? And your irrational side wants them to quit, to walk away, and just to leave this career forever. But often that's not an option. And so you face a very difficult situation. Trying to give your partner the space to be successful at work, while also not trusting them while they're at work. Sometimes the affair partner is even closer than a coworker. Sometimes it's a friend, perhaps even one of your best friends. And so now you're facing that double betrayal, not only from your spouse, but also from this friend. And so you may be losing two relationships at once. You may find that that person that you would have gone to for support during such a difficult time is in fact one of the ones that stabbed you in the back. And if this has happened to you, I am so sorry. Because this double betrayal is one of the hardest situations you can deal with. I know right now it probably feels like there's nobody that you can trust, that everybody's out to get you. But don't let those two people, those two selfish, heartless people, convince you that everybody else is like that as well. If this is your situation, you may find that you may have to make drastic changes in your life. It's difficult to maintain either, much less both of those relationships after betrayal like this. You may find that you have to distance yourself from really your former life, and that in many ways it may be easier to begin again. And then there's the ultimate choice of affair partner, when it's your family. And we have a certain level of expectations, of course, for those that choose to come into our lives. But often we have even greater expectations for those that we share blood with. And when you find out that a family member has betrayed you in such a cruel way, it calls everything into question, doesn't it? And much like when it's a friend, you're left questioning everything. And again, you've got to do what's right for you. Take care of yourself, even if that means cutting some people out of your life. So the relationship between your spouse and the affair partner is certainly one aspect to consider. Another is the role that the affair partner had. Sometimes the affair partner is a victim themselves. Sometimes they did not know that the person they were with was married. Sometimes they were lied to just as much as you were. And this might be the easiest for you to come to terms with, because it's hard to be angry at somebody who honestly didn't know. And in fact, you may actually feel sorry for them, and you may feel like you and that person have a lot in common. Other times the affair partner was a willing participant. They knew about the marriage and they either didn't care, or perhaps they were fed lines about that the marriage wasn't good and that divorce was imminent. Or maybe they compartmentalized to the point where they didn't see that the affair had any impact on the marriage. They saw them as two completely separate things. Obviously, this is harder to come to terms with because this person knew about the marriage. They knew that you existed, and yet they chose to do this anyways. Other affair partners are the instigator. They are the ones that actively sought out your partner. They didn't care that they were married. They didn't care if the marriage was good. They never paid any thought to how this would impact you or your family. They knew what they wanted, and they went after it. This sort of affair partner obviously ignites a lot of anger, because this person, with their selfishness, utterly and completely destroyed lives without a care in the world. And then there's the last, probably the most destructive sort of affair partner, the saboteur. This is the one who not only doesn't care, this is the sort of person that didn't only care that their partner was married, but they actively found joy in that fact. They like to cause destruction. They like to cause drama. This is the sort of person that will actively reach out to you and send you images or text. They want to hurt you. Now, when you find out about an affair, it's natural to want to reach out to the affair partner, to try to understand, or even just to scream. But before you do, it's important to recognize what sort of partner you're looking at. If this is a stranger who is also a victim, sure, reach out. Perhaps you'll find some understanding when you talk to this other person. If it's a friend or a family member, it's natural that you're going to want to talk to them. You want them to hear your pain. You want to be understood. You want to be acknowledged. Be careful if this person is more instigator or saboteur. You're not likely to gain much of anything with any contact other than more pain. Regardless of your particular situation and your decision, before you actively reach out, I recommend spending plenty of time just venting where they're not on the receiving end. This could be through a therapist, it could be through a journal. Just get all of that stuff out, all of that venom, all of that vitriol. And only reach out to them when you're a little bit calmer. Because the situation is hard enough as it is. Try not to do anything that's going to make it worse.